Are the Boston Celtics nearing a tipping point? After a shaky stretch, Al Horford just dropped a bold statement that could ignite a firestorm among fans. With the team struggling to find their rhythm, he believes it's time to ramp up the three-point shooting. But as we know, when those threes aren't falling, the criticism can be brutal. Is this the strategy that will either save the season or send fans into a frenzy? Stick around, because this conversation is just heating up. Don't forget to subscribe and give a like to stay in the loop on all things Celtics. Al Horford just dropped a statement that has got Boston Celtics fans buzzing, and honestly, it's a bit of a mixed bag. The Celtics are currently sitting pretty at 28-11, but let's be real. Over the last 13 games, they've only managed a 7-6 record. Joe Mazzulla called it a challenging month after their nail-biting 120-119 win against the New Orleans Pelicans. And now, Al Horford is shining a light on what he sees as a potential issue: the team's three-point shooting. Now, we all know the Celtics have become synonymous with their three-point game. Earlier this season, they were launching threes like it was nobody's business, leading the league with an average of over 50 attempts per game up until the end of December. But since the calendar turned to January, that number has dropped to just 43.7 threes per game. That's a significant dip, even though it still keeps them at the top of the league. But here's the kicker. The Chicago Bulls, who are in second place, are trailing them by a wide margin. Horford's comments after the game got me thinking. He's puzzled about why the attempts have decreased, saying, "I like when we shoot a lot of threes. We've got to get those up." And as a fan, I can't help but agree. When the Celtics are firing from beyond the arc, it's a beautiful thing. It spreads the floor and opens up driving lanes for our stars, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. But when the shots aren't falling, well, that's when the frustration kicks in. Right now, the team is shooting just 32.8% from three since the new year, which is far from ideal. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, I love the fact that Horford is pushing for a return to that high-volume style. It reflects a belief in our roster's shooting ability, and it certainly keeps defenses on their toes. On the other hand, if the shots aren't falling, should we really be attempting more? I mean, it's a balancing act that can make or break a game. The volatility of fans' reactions to our three-point shooting can't be understated. When the shots are going in, we're the toast of the town. But when they're clanking off the rim, you can feel the tension in the air. It's like a roller coaster ride where you're never quite sure when the next dip will hit. I appreciate Horford's confidence in our shooters, and it's clear he thinks that shooting more threes will lead to better offensive opportunities. But is that faith warranted? As passionate fans, we want to see our team succeed, and right now, we need to find a way to capitalize on those three-point opportunities without sacrificing our overall offensive flow. And you have to wonder, what's the plan moving forward? Will Mazzulla and the coaching staff adjust the strategy based on Horford's insights? They have a practice coming up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they address this issue. Will they dive into film sessions and analyze what's working and what's not? This is a crucial moment for the Celtics, and every decision counts. So, what do you think? Should the Celtics go back to their high-volume three-point shooting, or should they focus on refining their offense to create better shot selections? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Something is definitely off with our Boston Celtics, and it's hard to ignore. Sitting at 28-11, we're in a good spot, but the vibes feel shaky, don't they? Joe Mazzulla mentioned after the win against the Pelicans that this pressure is a great standard and a great expectation to have. And sure, it is. But as we look to improve, Kristaps Porzingis is a name that keeps coming up. And I can't help but feel there's a significant issue lurking beneath the surface. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: Porzingis' health. He's been in and out of the lineup since returning from off-season foot surgery, battling various lower leg injuries. But honestly, while that's a glaring concern, the real worry for me is how he fits within this team. The numbers are telling a story that isn't exactly flattering. Porzingis' plus/minus is sitting at plus 20 this season, which sounds decent until you realize Drew Holiday is at plus 144, and Jason Tatum is leading the pack with plus 289. In a per-game context, Porzingis is at a mere plus 1.3. That's concerning, folks. Even when we zero in on the games since his return on November 24th, he's still lagging behind. Al Horford, who's been around the block, is at plus 5.5 during that span. So, What's going on? When both Porzingis and Horford are on the court together, the Celtics have a solid 9.38 net rating. That's great. But here's the kicker. When Horford is on and Porzingis is off, that number jumps to an impressive 11.49. Flip it around, and when Porzingis is on and Horford is off, it crashes to 6.38. This isn't just a coincidence. It's a trend that we have to face head-on. Chemistry is such a big deal in basketball, and it's evident that Porzingis is still trying to find his place here. Mazzulla himself said it best. Sometimes when you have the same team, we have this expectation that we're just going to pick up there. But it's not that simple. We've got different players, different roles, and different expectations. The talent is undeniable. When Porzingis is firing on all cylinders, he can change the game. But right now, it feels like we're not fully harnessing that potential. As a passionate Celtics fan, I want to believe in this team. I want to see Porzingis thrive, but I can't ignore how his struggles are affecting our overall performance. It's a mixed bag, and I'm honestly torn about whether this is the right path for us moving forward. Do we need to adjust our strategy to get the best out of Porzingis, or do we need to reconsider how we're using him? And let's not forget the influence this has on our championship aspirations. With Tatum and Brown leading the charge, we can't afford to have Porzingis as a liability on the court. Every moment counts, and every game is crucial as we aim for a deep playoff run. It's a delicate balancing act, and as fans, we're right there in the thick of it, riding the emotional roller coaster. So, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the situation with Porzingis? Is this something we can work through, or is it a bigger issue that needs addressing? Your opinions matter. Let's get the conversation going in the comments below, and remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on all things Celtics. Don't forget to activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates. The season is heating up, and as fans, we need to stay locked in. Let's rally together and keep our Celtics strong!